What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today I'm actually going to be reacting to 3 different Kanye clips in this one video. The last video you saw me do, I reacted to his interview with Tucker Carlson at Fox News. Turns out the interview was longer. There's more clips that have been coming out. Out of all the clips that have come out, I've picked 3 that I think would fit my channel really well. So the first clip we're going to look at, which is actually the longest, is called Ye Talks About His Spirituality. The other 2 clips I think about are 4 or 5 minutes long a piece, so we're going to try to fit everything into this one video. But let's start out with this one. So like I said, Ye talks about his spirituality.
What's your prayer life like? Do you pray a lot?
This is a prayer. We're in constant prayer. I thought Hail Mary came to me, not in a Catholic way, but more like in a Tupac way, like, come with me, Hail Mary, I'm gonna run quick, see, what do we have here now? Do you wanna ride or die? Na, 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 na. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
It's like a Negro spiritual. It's a chant. It is, you know, it puts you in that mode. I got a song that I made. It was like a mix, it's a hybrid of that and Led Zeppelin. And it goes, it's like my best song. La, 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 wait till I get my money right. La, 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 la.
It's actually one of my favorite songs.
Then you can't tell me nothing, right? And people, I mean, I can open up this stuff. I can open up tours with this song. I wanted to point out this hybrid. You know, it's like if you see Zombieland 1 and Zombieland 2, or Terminators, anything, they always make the characters a little bit badder in the next generation. So that's, you know, Kim is like a hybrid. She's not just Marilyn Monroe. You know, she's also a fashion person. She's also a mom. She's also an activist. She's a lawyer. She's a multi-billionaire. She's hot. She's one of the most beautiful people of all time. You know, this is a different level of video game character now.
Okay, if you want to say that, that's fine. Do you pray? The question was, do you pray every day? And then it went into you talking about Hail Mary by Tupac, and now we're on talking about Kim Kardashian. He might have ADD, man. Which is okay. I think I have it too. I like trail off sometimes. The video where the street preacher got called, like they called the cops on him, and I paused it twice because I had to stop myself from pausing it too many times because I kept seeing the cars in the background, like the really nice street cars. He might have ADD. Also, just side note off of this, Ruslan, I don't know the name of the podcast they do at Bless God Studios, but I remember on their podcast, they were talking about where he actually talked to Kanye's pastor at the time, and they said Kanye has never read the Bible. Now, I don't know how that works, because he says he's Christian, and he has does Sunday service, Christian school, and there's a lot of things like how he acts at times where it's just like, oh, that's not very Christian-like. But I get it now. He doesn't read it. I don't know why he doesn't listen to it. You can actually listen to it as an audiobook, but I don't think he prays every day either. That's where I'm getting off this, because he just kind of trailed off into some other stuff that didn't really answer that question.
And when you see a headline that says, Kim says, oh, I'm gonna stay single forever, that's the indoctrination. Like, because they want this person to tell all the little girls out there that they need to be single forever. You know, all moms, I know there's definitely people who watch this show.
Do you think that? So you don't think that's an organic, natural thing? I mean, that is a message that she is being used to send.
Absolutely. Think about the song, Don't Talk About Bruno, no, 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 which already sounds weird, like it's, you know, talking about like an uncle or something that did something wrong if they say, don't talk about Bruno, right? But in the song, listen to the lyrics, it says, the man of my dreams will be slightly out my reach. And I just see my kids running around, and I see these things, but you know, the thing about for, hey, God, for the execs at Disney that are studying everything I'm doing or saying, trying to figure out how to connect with 15-year-olds, and that's why Bernard Arnault, buys Supreme, and instead of putting a true skater designer, they put like a BLM manager as the head of Supreme, because Supreme has an impact with the 15-year-olds. For the Disney guys, you might not believe in God, but God believes in you. It's not a battle you can win. It's like, don't jump, Anakin, I have the higher ground kind of situation.
Yeah, God's arms, I mean, it's always open. You can always come back home. Many refuse to. It's sad.
So you could put out all of the indoctrinations and, moves and have the biggest media company, but why am I alive? Why am I protected? Why did I become the richest black man of all time? Like, how did that happen? And the more and more I lean into God and work for God, the more wins God is going to bestow on our team, on Jesus Gang. And for me to go out and just state an obvious and empathetic statement in the middle of the most liberal central, like to go, that was like Tiananmen Square or something, right? I was like, with Candace Owens, and we both wore the shirt at the same time. We got some Jesus soldiers out here, and people say they're willing to die for it, but we live for it. We're living for the battle. And what's the battle for? Life itself, our children. They're killing us through the food. Mm-hmm. They're killing us through the content. They're killing us through the programming. Mm-hmm. But God is alive, and is alive in all of us, and we will overcome.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you're hopeful for the future of the country.
Absolutely, because I have the vision for it. I understand the ecosystem. I understand how to even liberate a big pharma. I have solutions for the future. I don't have the entire vision. Certain things are just in front of me and they happen when they're supposed to happen. But there's so many open doors. Like, we have this concept, this is put on my heart, the idea of a monastery, or I call it the Dondastery, which takes the different disciplines and blends them together. And in the Dondastery, we have proper baby health care. And I'm sure there's a higher, actually when I met with Gabby, she had a really, really good term for this. And so many people bring their babies to the hospital, not just black people, and the doctors mess up. And they're like, oh, there's been some complications. So to be able to have incredible nurses. I was very specific about saying nurses instead of saying doctor too. I don't believe you need a doctor, and I'm not a doctor, but a nurse. It's possible, to have a successful childbirth. And so that's the first thing we provide: shelter. We won't turn anyone away. Food, clothing, high-end curriculum, and vocational curriculum, farming, carpentry, automotive, computer, software, and hardware. So it becomes a new place where someone can lay the baby on their steps and say, hey, the situation I'm in, I don't have enough money for another kid. I don't have the time. I don't have the room in my house. I just don't have the resources. And every day for the past 2 months, I've been walking by this Planned Parenthood, and I'm thinking about stopping in because I just can't have this baby. And what I'm doing is saying, hey, well, let's put a place just across the street from the Planned Parenthoods and say, this is a place that when you decide to have your child, this child can have the best opportunity at life.
Do you think this?
That actually sounds wonderful. That sounds amazing. And I don't understand. I guess there's only so much we can do, because there are places that try to give you resources during pregnancy to where you can keep the baby. And they make it more beneficial for you instead of just like aborting it. But that actually sounds like a really good ideal situation, and I don't understand why a lot more of that isn't pumped through the government to just create full-on centers like that. Even if it is, I've had visions of this before. So like what he's saying, get the baby there, birth them, you have a place to stay, food, all of that we teach you. But even on like a lower end level, what if they keep you there? So like, you know how if you have a job and for like so many weeks after having the baby, they give you time off and you got to go back to work. What if at these facilities, after you have the baby, not only you have a place to stay and everything, not only do they get you prepped, right? So you're there to be with the child. After a year or two into it, while also working up to that point, they also get you ready to like find work, and work that would be beneficial to where it's like, oh, this schedule works for me. And maybe they have connections with like the local jobs in the area. So you get these people in. And once they're ready, so instead of just supporting on that center for the whole time, at some point you go to work, you start bringing some money in, they show you how to save it, properly plan out your finances, budget, blah, blah, blah. Then they get you to your first apartment, and then now you and your family are now out living on your own. You can still come back to the center, because I like the rest of it too, where it's like, oh, we have school here, like it could be a school, daycare, all that. You can still bring the baby back for all that, but now instead of staying here, now we have this room or cabin or however it's going to be set up, freed up for the next family to come in, because now we have set you up to not only start your family on the right foot, but also get you guys together so you can continue to build your family on the right foot. That would actually be pretty dope. Like, don't be aborting babies. Especially the black community. I've said this in another video and I saw the statistic. For every 1,000 babies aborted, the black community is aborting 474? Somewhere, we'll just say 470. 470 is just from us. Just from us. The other 530 is split amongst the other races. Like, I don't think y'all realize this. We're actually killing ourselves at a higher rate than what we believe police officers are killing us at. Because think about it, like, what was the statistics for last year? The statistics for last year, it's a little over 1,000 people were killed by the police. We'll just say 1,000, because I don't know, it was 1,000 and something, but we'll just say 1,000. 1,000 people were killed by the police. 27% of that, right, was black people. That includes men and women. Now, the number they like to twist y'all up at is like, oh, we're killed at a higher rate, right? Right, because we're the minority. Our population level is way lower, so it's going to look like that. I mean, we want to play that game. Pacific, like, what is it, Native Hawaiians? They're actually number one on the list. They're actually killed at the highest rate by police officers. They also make up a smaller amount of population, so if you're just looking at the numbers in that sense, then they're actually number one. We're number two, okay? Like, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just 20% of that number for 1,000 people throughout the year versus abortions, which, what's the number for abortions? Oh, it's so high too. It's like, it's so freaking high. Either way, for every 1,000, right? So we're talking about thousands of babies aborted, right? For every 1,000, 470 is black. We're killing ourselves at a higher rate. That's a great idea, man. That's a great idea.
Society discourages parental involvement, parental influence over the children.
I mean, society is like a big term. You mean
it is. Well, you had said that your father was discouraged from, being in your household, and you have been discouraged from being in your children's lives.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a thing that happens to a lot of people in America, to a lot of men?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of men deal with a mother and the the baby mama and the mother-in-law ganging up to take the child away.
Yeah.
And not wanting to give the dad his say-so. Like,
this is why it's important to be very selective with who you're sleeping with, okay? We're not talking about ARP right now. We're not talking about incest, because I know we just had the abortion talk, and somebody's probably going to bring that up in the comment section. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the average person, the man or woman that just wants to have fun and have one-night stands and date around and sleep with anybody, right? This is why you need to be more selective about who you're with. Because if you just lay down with anybody, you don't know what situation you're coming into. You can be a young man, you're out having some fun, you listening to the boys, oh yeah, you gotta have all these notches on your belt. You don't, but that's what society wants you to believe, right? You meet some chick, you don't even know her. You end up getting her pregnant. She randomly hits you up months later, tells you, and you're just like, no, I'm not ready for all that. And she be like, whatever, I'm having it. She could be the worst person ever to try to co-parent with you. First off, you don't know her. Like he said, her and the mom could start just treating you trash, ganging up on you. Then it could just turn into a situation where it's like, I need you to pay for everything, give me money nonstop. So now not only are you doing things for your kid like you're supposed to, now they just want extra. Then it's turning into, you don't give me what I want, I'm going to just take it to the court. Y'all got to think beyond just busting a nut for the moment, man. It's well beyond that. Women too, like, nobody thinks of the long-term consequences of their actions. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
There was even a moment where we were arguing about North's basketball coach. And I had to say, like, I went from not making a basketball team in 8th grade to winning championships in 9th grade by practicing every day. And North likes basketball, and I'm going to come and practice with her every day. I'm also going to pick the other coaches that work with her. And now that she's back playing basketball, this is the most confident person in the league. She's like the Dennis Rodman. And when North snatches the ball out of a girl twice her size, and she comes over to the side, I tell her, don't let anyone take anything from you ever.
Facts.
Don't let anyone take anything from our family. Don't let anyone take our company. Always protect your brothers and sisters.
Facts.
Subscribe to the Fox News.
Facts. W Dad for saying that. Facts. Okay, guys, this is what I'm going to do. Because we're at 18 minutes because I ended up talking. The other 2 clips are way shorter. I think it's like 4 minutes a clip. We're going to end this right here. So this is going to be part 1, and then we'll finish in part 2. So I'll see you guys in the next one.